I know it's
technically
we should.
challenged. All weekend, I've been putting that piece, the what do we call it, the mypitch.com, so I can get in there and practice with the system.
Right. Oop, we lost
Many
him.
of them, and none of them are coming up. What
None
am
of
I
them is.
doing wrong?
Well, how would I know what you're doing wrong until I see what you're doing? Right. What is it that you're trying to do?
Okay, it either is. I'm trying to get into.
All right. He's he, hopefully he's the one that's frozen, not me.
My
Right?
area to do avatars and stuff like that. Start getting them out the back door. Oh,
Yeah. I'm
my
sorry,
frozen?
Nick.
No.
Yeah, I can't hear you very well. Going in and out. How are you?
Oh.
Hello, Diane. Good to see you. See, you thought I wasn't looking. I just want you to know I was looking. Okay. All right. Just remember you may be on mute. So I
Yes,
can't
I
hear you if
said
you're
hello,
gonna have a question.
everybody. Hi, Terry. I'm so happy you can see me today.
We can see it today. What did we do something intelligent to make that happen, or did you just get lucky?
I just got lucky. I put it in my phone. I said my camera is not working on my HP laptop, and I just followed all the steps in. I got it to work.
Maybe you should send us those steps so we can tell somebody else when they have
Okay.
that problem. Well, I just want to welcome everyone. It's Monday training, right? I don't know for those of you that got a chance to see the Saturday training. If you didn't, we really focused on how to use the AI avatar twins long term, on how to make that aspect of it. And what we really emphasized is first start with making your own, which I think is what Nick was trying to refer to, what his challenge is, and I don't know what that is, so we'll go over that. Does anyone have any other questions or specific area? Hey, Rachel. Go
Hi,
ahead.
I created my avatar and Gary loved them. I did 2 or 3 of them, but I don't know how to attach it like what you did, having the pitch
A
site,
website. Sure.
the website and the Calendly and me. I have me, but I played around with it for hours yesterday. Finally, just gave up. But Saturday was the day that I worked at it and I created my avatars, and he loved them. So I was really happy about that.
Okay. So is the avatar in your library? Like, can you see it in the library? Because then it's going to be probably easier than you think for me to show you. So let me
my
show you what I mean by that. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what.
I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay. Hold on one second here.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the great part about this, right? It's show and tell, right? So you can see my dashboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you see here on the left-hand side where it says AI tool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Avatar Studio where I went to create it.
Right.
And there's the AI videos. And that's where
Yeah.
your library is of the ones that you created. Okay.
Right. Yeah, they're all in
So-
there.
Yeah. So let's just say, for instance, the Michael Jordan one, right? So these buttons on the bottom where you can go in and either watch it, you can download it, you can share it with somebody else, you can edit it, or you can delete it, right? So let's go to just this one. I want to on the mic. Let's go to this one. Okay, and I'm going to hit the edit button. Notice these 4 buttons on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the description, which I can change on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the description, right? So it's the name of it, the description of it, which means when the video is playing, it'll say that on the top and on the bottom. Okay. We added this button over the weekend. So if you type a script in your new one, the script will be there. If you ever want to
Okay.
make a change, so your script will be there now. And here's where it says shared website. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right there. That's the key button. This was me a week ago. No, sorry. Okay. I don't know who that person is. Sorry. So what you do here is when you want to add a URL, you could add as many as you want, by the way. He says, add another URL. And then you put in the exact time you want that page of the URL to appear. So right now, this mypitch.com/Steve is my homepage, right? So if I wanted to appear the second the video starts, I just put it at 1 second. right? Then
Oh.
maybe I want my feature page. Okay. So I do my pitch. Now, again, I could just copy and paste it from the URL. I don't have to do this typing, you know?
Mhm.
And but for argument's sake, let's just say it's the feature page. And after watching the video, I decide that I want it to be at the 1 minute and 5 second mark. See what I mean?
Mhm.
That's all it is.
No,
I could do, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no. So at this point, when they go to my site, they have me, and then they have everything, and my Calendly and everything like that is all in there, like yours is.
Well, it would be if you put it in there, right? So
Okay.
that's what I meant is that if, let's say, mypitch.com/Steve, it starts that way, then if it's my script or your script, your avatar, whatever you're talking about, maybe at a certain point, it's natural for the feature page to come. And now do you have a Calendly? Your own
Yes.
Calendly? Yeah.
Yes.
So what here, it's just like me, right? I'm going to put my Calendly right here at the end. You know, I don't know what mine is exactly, right? But my Calendly, and then I would put that, if the video was 2 minutes and 27 seconds, I'd probably put it at about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So it has time for people to see it.
Perfect.
See what I
Okay.
mean?
Yep. Wow,
And then
that
all
was
you
so
do
much
is,
easier.
yeah,
Go-
and then all you do is hit save, right? Now, the other thing too, is you're going to text it to somebody, right? So you don't want them just to see an ugly link, right? You want them to see a pretty thumbnail. So you see here's the picture of the thumbnail you can create. So they'll see this before they open it, which makes them want to open it, right? So if
Mhm.
you're sending it to someone you know, you probably want it to be a picture of you, because then they're going to open it, right? If it's a picture of me, they're going to go, "Who's this guy?" It's probably some unsolicited perspective, right? I'm not interested in seeing him. So
Right.
to do the thumbnail, when it says here, change thumbnail, you click that button, and then literally from your computer, you just go to the photos. You know, show all files in your computer, and you
Mhm.
can go to your photos, and you can pick the photo that you want to be your thumbnail.
Oh,
So it's literally that easy, you know?
right.
So whatever the picture may be, I pick it, you know,
Mhm.
and then I hit open, and that becomes my thumbnail picture. Now, what's nice is you see how says this is Steve, and you're going to love this. As
Mhm.
I write the thumbnail, remember, if I'm sending it to someone I know, right, I could be personal, right? You know, hello, Susan, right? See, it says it. Hello, Susan, right there,
Mhm. So you can
right?
change it every time you're sending it to somebody else.
Absolutely. So I would have a version where I send the same one to a lot of people because I don't have to customize it every time.
Right.
But I have that ability to change that every time. I just realized every time you send it, let's say you send it to 100 people yesterday, and
Mhm.
you change it today, it'll change the ones you sent before as well. If it's on a cloud, so it doesn't know that you don't want to change it permanently. So what's great too is if let's say you send out 100 of them and you found through testing that if you say this is the best video ever, everyone opens it, right? So if you set it out with the wrong expression before, when you change it here, it'll change it to everyone you ever sent, unless you want to make a copy of it. So you can make a duplicate and have one say one and one say the others. So, but you see here, hello, Susan, you're going to love this. I could change this. Anything you want. You need to see this.
Mhm. You need to see this.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know, whatever it may be, because it's from you. This is
Right.
all about being personal. So let's say, for instance, you sent these out, right? And then you want to change it later on. I don't want my calendar to appear. Delete. Then you say, I do want to add it back. Add it back. So this can be customized every time.
So, and when you do that, everything is going to appear on the opening page, correct?
Correct.
Like you did.
Right. Right.
That's-
So this will appear on the thumbnail,
Mhm.
and this stuff will appear when they're watching it.
All right.
So you
Got
kind of get two chances to give them a message, right?
All right.
So here you might want to say, you know, I mean, literally, I would probably do this, you know, if, you know, you like this as much as I thought you would, sorry, if I could spell would right, it'd be help, call me.
Mhm.
And your phone number, right? This is what I meant about making it authentic and personal, right?
Well, and so
Because
then,
they'll be able to read that while they're watching the video.
and then just put your phone number in there anyway, in case they don't have it. Right, okay,
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
You know,
yep. Paul, do you have any questions?
Oh,
Not yet, okay.
I can see. I like that one. Okay, so
That's
with
great.
no, again, it's great. It's great questions. This, you know, what's great about questions like this? Questions come, like you say, because you were doing it over the weekend, right? If you were just watching me every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right, you would not know, right, of where the friction point is. Where, like, I got to tell you this morning, like the team was showing me something this morning, and I was like, you guys, it's like I don't understand this. I'll show you what I need in a minute. It was like I needed to call somebody, and then as soon as they showed it to me, it was like, oh, of course that makes sense. It was me. It wasn't these guys, right? You know, but that's what I meant. So here again, Avatar Studio. Go back to the really beginning of the basics for those of you that are thinking you're ready to jump in and start this, right? Is first thing is you start with a picture, right? Because I uploaded these pictures in the past, it remembers it. So I don't have to click on show all my files. So it's right there. And my picture will upload. There it is. And I can change it at any time. Every time I've uploaded one, it's going to be in here. So I can make that change. Right? Right there's my picture. Right? Now, just so you know, guys, when you type in this script, it's going to save, which I know is an issue for somebody. Okay. So, right, this is, you know, my script that is going to be sent
Mm-hmm.
to all the people I know who I think is going to love this. Now, if you're someone, you know, like Santa Claus, you may use Gemini, you know, or ChatGPT to give you some ideas. But remember, whether you start with an AI script or you use AI to enhance it, this is as effective as close as it is to you, right? You're not using Bruce Springsteen, you're not using Elvis, you're using you. And so you want it to have your voice and your authenticity, right? So what with the way that we recommend using AI at the end of the day is you write this script, it's your word, your emotion, and then you hit AI enhance. And AI enhance is not really set there to improve your script, it's to tell the picture what your script means. So the expressions in your face, the personality, the character. He's going to start off with an excited attitude. There's a lot here. He's going to chuckle. He's going to smirk. But let's say you don't want it to be excited. You want it to be more serious. You want it to be more confident. I'm just going to go in and erase it because I think I'm smarter than AI. Right? And then to make it apply, I hit AI enhance again, and you'll see it highlighted. And now it's going to do it confidently. Right? So we got the picture down. Right. So Nick, you tell me where it doesn't make sense to you. Okay. At any point. But I've uploaded a picture. Right. I've written my script. And now I'm going to select my voice. Right. And if I've done my voice in the past, it'll be in my voice section. So you see here it says Steve. These are voices I've made of other people that I made before. That's why they're not all me in this section. I copied Michael Jordan's voice. Right. I did Taylor Swift's voice. So I did Elvis' voice. So it's the ones that I made. Where's the ones that come with the system that are pre-made? Why do we have pre-made voices? Because sometimes people want to create an employee for themselves, a virtual assistant, somebody who'll represent them. So I might not, maybe I'm shy. I don't want my face and image out there, everyone. So I could literally say, you know, hi, I'm Daniel. You know, I work for Steve. And Steve said that I should send this to you on his behalf because this really, but I mean, you can really do anything in an authentic way as opposed to crazy way, right? That's just inauthentic. But let's say, for instance, you want to do your own voice. Okay. Now, this is the easiest thing to do, right? So sometimes you get here, you go, okay, how do I record my own voice? I don't have my voice in an audio file to upload. Don't have a voice. So here's a great button, record it. You literally hit start recording and talk for 30 seconds. And if you go, what should I say? Just talk normal conversation. You don't have to read, you know, Peter Piper, Pick of the Peck. It doesn't matter. It's listening to your sound, listening to your tone, listening to your attitude. So it literally is, you're with Oprah on the couch, right, trying to explain to somebody about why you're. So if you want your attitude to be uplifting and exciting, record it that way. Say, I'm Steve. I'm so excited about this, and you're basically telling our computer the tone that you want, even though you can change it in the AI enhanced. It's like making it easier. And write a description here so you remember it. This is my excited voice. Because maybe you'll do Steve 1 and Steve 2. And you'll remember what that means, right? But literally type it here, Steve me version 3. And now I'll hear. Then I'm going to remove any background noise. Maybe there's music playing in the background, and me, I live in coffee shops and hotel lobbies, and so I make sure if I'm recording it, no one hears it. And then I literally hit clone to make that voice. Okay. And so then I would have my voice. Okay. I've got my picture. I've got my script. If I want to listen to it a couple times before I hit it, I want to hear the script, hear what it sounds like. So maybe I thought confident was good, but maybe maybe the computer is right. Maybe excited was better. And I change it again, all before I hit generate. Now you can add the URLs now and then choose the time later and edit it, or you can skip that. Just hit right here and hit generate, and your video will start. And you see, because it lit up, and as I click this, it should work. So if you have a problem here, this usually becomes inactive. You can't click the generate. And then as soon as you do that, it'll appear at the bottom right away. So you can see that it's done. And then it'll drop into your library, where then you can do the editing it and add the times and the change. Okay. So any questions on that? Does that sound?
I have a quick question. On mine, it recorded my voice, but it put down male, even though the voice is a little bit lower than my voice, but it was, because I just recorded anything to get a voice in there. I recorded 2 or 3 different voices. And when I put the voice that I wanted, it said male. And I said, well, how do you change it to female? It came out a little bit lower. What?
Yeah, maybe that we have to work on that probably. But remember, that's only for you. No one else sees that.
Okay.
They're getting
All
it, so it's only for your eyes only. But we have to make sure it does well. But you have a computer trying to tell you something, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Is that kind of clear in that perspective? Okay. So again, before I take the question from Avanis or a comment from Santa, again, let me just say this, right? Is my recommendation, which again, people can feel free not to listen to recommendations because sometimes they're more talented than the average person, and most of my recommendations are for the average person, right? Is that you want to do something really simple, right? When I say simple, meaning it has a quick beginning, middle, and end, and it's under a minute. Because your goal is not to get someone to enroll for $200, right? You're not trying to convince them that we just went through the biggest technological transformation and we're Zoom on. They can't understand any of that in a minute. But what you can make them do is create a really great curiosity, right? A curiosity to get on a live demo, a curiosity just to pick up the phone and talk to you, right? Because remember, you're not in the explanation business with us, you're in the experience business. So when you're sending them that video, they're actually experiencing it. And sometimes it's best to call attention to that in your 1-minute video, right? So you don't need to be cute. You need to be so honest. You can say, if I'm Rachel and I'm sending it to the Levon, I'm saying, Levon, I just signed up for this new technology that I think is the coolest thing I've ever seen. In fact, I'm not just going to explain this to you. You're experiencing it. This is an interactive text. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Well, they can do this in webinars. They can do this in text. They can do this in email, right? I'm saying in 1 minute, the idea is not to say how you do it and why you do it. It's just that you can do it, right? So that's what I meant is that if you're in less than a minute, show that you're really excited about something and they see why you're excited about it. That's a big difference than the mystery pitch, right? I just signed up for new technology and I promise you that if you give me 10 minutes of your time, you're going to thank me afterwards. But you didn't tell them at all why you're excited, why they should be excited, right? So it's a little bit of who are you, right? Who do you think they are? And what should they do next? And so literally on the video, you say to them, I would love you to call me, right? I would love you to call you because I'd love to get you in for 10 minutes for you to experience something, and I've got to count, so more real, more powerful, more effective. And again, at some point you'll get far more advanced and you'll do a lot more than 1 minute. But 1 minute can fill your pipeline. It can create that activity. And remember, one 1 minute testimonial could be in front of one person. It could be in front of 10 people. It could be in front of 5,000 people on the same day. And you know exactly that it's the perfect presentation that you want to make. And you know how you'll know it's perfect? Because you'll get appointments. So if you're sending out the same 1 minute video and no one ever responds, that's called A/B testing. That's what the smartest people in the business do. They don't assume they're going to get it right the first time. They don't think their technology failed. They think the messaging failed. And what the message from Levon might be different than the message from Rachel. You know why? Because Levon's different than Rachel. The people they know are different from each other. They may have different expertise, their own background. But I guarantee you that if you're authentic, people will respond to you, right? So, Avanice, I'm sorry, you have a comment.
Thank you. Thank you for your explanation and for sharing what you just did. Right in that section, I've been having a challenge. I know you made reference to being able to edit the script. I've tried and I've been trying it a few times. Right in that section there. And then when you go on the other side to edit, once, maybe I'm just mistaken, but once the avatar has been created, are you able to go and actually edit that script? Because in my case, I'm not
No,
seeing...
you have to, let me say, I'm not communicating correctly. When I say edit it, meaning you have to still edit and regenerate it. I'm saying, as opposed to it's just editing it there and then it'll be done.
Yeah.
So it's for you to have a script, right, that you could then copy and paste and as if it's a new video.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So you again, you weren't doing it wrong, as opposed to me communicating what I meant by editing. Right. So we don't have the ability yet, but we might be able to do that in the future, where literally if you change one word, you push a button. But at the end of the scenario, you still have to regenerate it because
You're thinking
the
about
computer
that?
looks at it as a separate video
Yes. Yeah.
in that perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You
Somebody's-
might have an idea.
Let me
And
hit
only because
the mute
he started
button.
his own financial services.
It's fine. Okay. So that's all I meant is that many people were complaining that they did a script and then they generate the video and the script is gone. They don't have it in their PDF. They don't have it in that perspective. So, but we did find, right, a technology that may allow us where if you just do the word that we can edit it on the fly, but that's a little complicated for us to be able to make the promise yet. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I muted you, Ebony, because there was somebody talking in the background. So if you can unmute yourself if that answers your question.
Sure. Thank you for that. As a follow-up though, I realize that there have been some changes to the diction, for want of a better word, because before it was pronouncing my name as Avanice. Now it's pronouncing it as something else. And in addition to that, I tried putting in pitch, and instead of saying pitch, it's saying PXCH.
Yeah, I always write pitch, PITCH, for the avatar, by the way.
But okay,
I get
I wanted you to
same thing.
stress that as well,
Yeah.
because that's what I've been doing
100%.
now.
Yeah.
To make
No, you know
sure
what it is? It's funny, like the AI trains itself, so it thinks it's correcting itself. It thinks it's improving itself. We don't have to say, no, we were happy the way it was, right? So in that case, and so the same thing sometimes with your name, again, because it's an unusual name, right? Sometimes you have to phonetically make it easier for the AI to pronounce it.
Yeah, I know.
correctly, 'cause it thinks it's teaching itself.
I've tried I've tried AH to Avanice. I've tried so many things and I'm not getting it right. But when I did it the first time, it was good.
So let me ask the team, we may be able to override, right, the its own learning, right? So let me see if we can train, because it's our AI engine, right? If we can train it for you to.
Or
do
maybe I
that.
could just change my name, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. You know, Susan can make you a lot more money. You know, you may want to go with that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you have a. Hey, do you have any, Santa? Do you have a comment I can help you with?
Yeah, there we go. I two things. One is you said there's like 150 languages. So if someone makes a speech, how do they turn that into a different language and then post it?
Yeah, we're about to release that very soon, where you'll see that 155 languages and do a button. We just don't have that released yet in the back office. It's still in our production, in our test server.
Okay. The other thing is
We'll
the
have
great
that.
that we can change our texting. It'd be nice if we could actually change the voice and the avatar. Kind of
Yeah.
like redo the whole thing without using a credit.
Yeah, it's just, you know, technically what we want to do and what's technically possible. Sometimes there's always a gap in that perspective, right? Terry Marie, you got something for me? You're on mute, Terry.
I do. I
And then
do.
Leah, we'll hit you next.
I had the same comment that Venice had about it saying PXT, you know, spelling it out.
Yeah.
Because that was a question to ask you. But my other question is, I don't know if it was last week or the Saturday or one of the other meetings. I saw on there where it showed your Google Drive space, and I don't remember which screen it was. I don't want to get out of. Oh, well, let me ask this: if I'm in the middle of creating an avatar and I go to a different menu, will I lose what I have, or will it hold it there?
If you go to a different menu, it should hold it there. It shouldn't erase if you go to a different tab.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I just
Yeah,
remember
should be
seeing
fine.
on your screen that your drive space, you know, whatever with 20% left. Is that
Right.
something on your end that you personally have, or is it part of our package that we have this much space?
Yeah, each package has a different amount of cloud storage. So the lowest package is 25 gigabytes, the middle one is 50 gigabytes, and then the biggest is 100 gigabytes. And as we make more and more recordings, that becomes more valuable. Gigabytes, like with 25 gigabytes of Zoom, probably cost you a couple $100 that we give away. That's when people go, are you more expensive or less expensive? It's always a case if you use the features, right? Like if you paid, you know, $2,000 for the heated seats in the car, but you never turn it on, you know, it's like, does it have value, right? So again, as time goes on, those gigabytes of storage will be more and more valuable. Go ahead, Leah. And then ACA, you'll have to.
Hello, Steve. First, I want to thank you for taking the everyday time from Monday to Thursday training us. So I get a couple of questions. So, like for me, I'm Filipino. How do I change it to a different language or?
Language, I'll show you. Okay. And there are another couple other questions, so maybe I can cover them at the same time as well. Okay. A second here. I'll show you. I'm going to go to this. Okay. So you can see, I'm going to actually start another meeting. So that way I show you how I actually do it as the host. So I'm here. And I'm going to start a meeting. And if I was, let's say, doing a meeting, remember, this is a meeting that none of you are in. So that's why I'm in this one by myself. So I can show you the host view, right? And let's say, for instance, somebody requests and saying, hey, I speak Filipino. Can you translate this? Can you start the translation button? All I do, right, is I hit the translate button right here. And then as soon as I do that, I hit start translating. And then my guest can drop down here and pick the language of their choice. So right here, you'd pick, if you were the guest, you'd pick that language, right? For Filipino or whatever language that you may choose. And if you had 30 guests speaking 30 different languages, it would all do that. Now, me as the host, when you're speaking Filipino to me, I want to hear it in English. So that's why I have it on English. So the English is for me, not for you. So the host doesn't have to pick the language for the guest. The guests pick their own language for themselves. Now I'm hit disabled translation, but that's how you would do it. Now, this is very important. When you hit the translation button, all of your guests immediately go on mute, because otherwise, if everyone's talking at the same time, it doesn't know who to translate in which language. To hearing it, it would sound, like the Tower of Babel, going on. So we try to assume that the host is the most important person who needs to be translated initially. And then what would happen is when somebody wants to ask a question to a host, they unmute themselves, and the host should advise people not everyone speaks at the same time. And then that host will hear you in your language answer your question and be able to do that. So hopefully that makes sense. You said you had another question?
What about the video? When the AI video, are we to change the language to
Yeah, that's
the
something we're
video?
going to be introducing in about a week, where you'll be able to translate that into 155 different languages. And I'm going to make that demo next week of how to show you how to do that. And that's really easy. I mean, that's the host, literally, you push a button and it's good. We're trying to do it two ways, in the sense where the host can choose the language and then send it out because that person is. But I also want to have it, and I don't know if we'll have it initially, where the guest can choose the language that they want to hear it in. So that way, if you did it in English or you did it in, you could send it out one time and not worry what language it is. But so far, it's just hard because when most guests get it, they don't know they could choose a language. And it's not obvious that they could choose a language. Otherwise it's just like, we don't want it to become the issue where somebody gets a video and they're making such a big deal about language, So it's hard sometimes to find that right balance, right? Of offering, that's what I said about offering features, but not ruining the experience, So at the very least, I know the host can do it. When I find a really cool way for the guests to do it, we'll introduce both parts of it. Okay?
Awesome.
Hey,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, Lee. You're very sweet. ACA? Which, believe me, if our AI avatar could pronounce ACA correct, I really do.
Yeah, I thought I had it changed where it showed my name, but it reverted back. So I'll have to check that. But I wanted to know, and thank you for taking questions. It's so great. I wanted to know if you are going to add a feature, or if 2.0 already has it, where people can private message, especially like me as the host, if I can private message in the meetings.
Yeah, we definitely are adding that. We haven't, and I must say, like, out of all of our feature lists, right, we just haven't focused as a team yet on the texting platform. So we're going to add a couple of things where you can do private messages, you can do groups. We want it where you can also ask questions to an AI agent that's trained. So, and not only have the AI agent be an expert in pitch, because if you're doing Nu Skin or Herbalife or Shopify clothing, right, the last thing you want is an AI agent to talk about how your meeting is going on. So the idea is to have an AI agent where if you have a website, just the way you type it in here in a video, type it in so the AI agent can use that as a reference point to answer questions for you during the meeting about your website, and also add a PDF. You can add up your own FAQs. So everyone would have a personalized AI agent. And so if you start the meeting, you can say, for those of you that have questions but maybe can't stay the whole time, just so you know, there's an AI agent that can answer any questions before you go. We think that'll be a really cool
I
feature to
love
do.
that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. And I do want to take a second for those of you that didn't see Saturday of an example of an AI twin that someone made themselves. And it's about, I think it's 2 minutes. So my advice would be to take this same tone of 2 minutes and make it into a minute, but it's really effective, right? Of the authenticity, the information. And so I want you to see a great example of what somebody created on our system.
Hi, my name is Gary Fink. I had a real estate development business, 14 projects, full-time crews, and 2 small children when I was first introduced to a whole new way of business, residual income, all without capital investment, equipment, employees, everything I was dealing with. So I threw my hat in the ring. My wife thought I had lost my mind. You want to do what? And not because of me, but because of the timing, part-time. In 6 months, I replaced a 6-figure income. My business grew throughout the US and internationally and became a full-time business, all because of timing and fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. So, with 25 years of experience creating residual income, by first helping others become successful, it gave me time, freedom, and a lifestyle that changed my life. So, when I first saw Pitch, I recognized right away the timing, transforming an entire industry. It was deja vu all over again. I had seen this movie before. I knew where this was going and what an extraordinary opportunity. And never before had I seen how universally appealing this platform was across the board for so many businesses. This was a billion-dollar business in the making, going into 200 countries. So my advice, especially today, no matter where you are in the business right now, no matter what your check is, no matter who is on your team right now, doesn't matter. What does matter is appreciate the moment, appreciate the timing. Just keep it simple. Use Pitch, talk Pitch, and demo Pitch. That's it. Plug into everything Pitch offers. Open house events every Tuesday evening with the founder and CEO, Steve Jamieson, and other leaders. Use your smart invite links so your guests can seamlessly enroll onto your team in real time. Then leverage the onboarding workshops that Steve Jamieson and Pitch offer during the week to help jumpstart all your new members with clarity and purpose. Years from now, people will ask, when did you first hear about Pitch? What did you do? Did you realize the timing back then? You mean the CEO was doing demos and trainings personally for you? That must have been amazing. We are so fortunate to be here in this place right now with this timing that will literally change lives. Remember, anyone can do this. You can do this. Just be grateful for the opportunity, keep it simple, help others, and enjoy the ride.
See, right? Incredible authenticity, credible effectiveness if you speak to somebody before they watch that video. I don't know if somebody who doesn't know Gary will watch that whole video, right? Because in some ways, you know, where's the beginning, middle, and end, right? I don't know. It's hard to feel the rhythm in that. If you feel the authenticity, he didn't have to do some fancy Sora content piece right behind him, right? It was just so real. So in my mind, if you took that message, you cut that in half, the simplicity of half, and you thought interactive websites, I think that would be the perfect presentation piece to people you know and people you don't know as a great example. But I think writing that 2.5 minutes, will that be effective? 100%. It'll be effective sent to the right person who's open to that message. But to get to a broader audience is where I think you'd have to be. And what's nice is I'm saying to you, you have to do less to do more, as opposed to, oh, no, you're going to have to write scripts like that, right? Like if it was me going, oh my God, I don't know if I could write a script like that. You know, the truth is you don't have to. That's the beauty part of this technology, right? You know, it's like when I'm preparing our, for a Tuesday night phone call, we have our special AI guest that we use. And the person that's going to be speaking tomorrow on our behalf, right, is considered probably one of the greatest communicators in history across different mediums, whether it be magazines, whether it be television, whether it be radio, whether it be talk shows, whether it be movies, right? This person, I'm saying, was always known as the most effective communicator. And in some ways, with AI avatars, this is a new form of communication. And we can master this with simplicity, as opposed to mastering it by having to now go get certified at some training school how to write scripts for AI avatars, right? Or become some technical wizard, right? It's where I think all of you are so brilliant and you don't get enough credit is just speak from the heart, speak from passion, speak from the truth, and it'll be the perfect message, every single time. And so as opposed to sending me, I'm saying Gary is more effective than me because it's Gary, right? It's not, I want you to hear from this guy. As soon as you're going to want to hear from this guy, you're already one step removed from authenticity. As opposed to, I want to tell you something that I personally am passionate about. I'm personally excited about. I'm personally want you to be as excited as I am, right? Go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry, you have a question or a comment? Are you on mute, Cheryl? Did we leave you? Because I saw that you had raised your hand. Okay. Nope. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions or thoughts today? And then otherwise, I'm going to show you a few things here. Okay. So in our back office now, if I can find it, there it is. There's a couple of things we added over the weekend. Number one here, we added, if you notice now, there's a communication center. Okay. And this is where we're going to start putting reporting for you and the content for you. And so the first one here, you'll be able to join our live onboarding meetings right from this section here, as opposed to this being a recording. This is just so you know, if you can't find the link, you ever need the link, you'll be able to join our onboarding workshops or Tuesday night calls, Saturday trainings, whatever that may be, right from the back office. And here's where you'll see the recording of that. So you won't have to search for it. You won't have to wait for them to be posted in the academy. The recordings will be here, just the way our Saturday success training is here as well. So this is something we're excited about. So this is where we'll post my 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos, 7-minute videos, our great content. The scripts will be in there. So that's where you'll have them. So now everyone will have a library in that sense. So we're just starting to build that out for you. Also in here, a lot of you want to sometimes have a meeting and you want to create smart links, co-host links for other people. Now, if you didn't do it in the invite, you'll be able to do them right from back here. And tomorrow I'll train on this, on how you set up and add new smart links to your meeting. And so what this does is this literally creates an invitation from any meeting you have that you've set up as a potential co-host meeting, and it'll send them an email for them to create their own smart link. So at the last minute, you don't want to go back in and edit your meeting and add all these people. To do that, you can literally just do this and send out a link. And it's a very simple system. And it comes with a personalized URL that you're able to do that. And I'll take you through that tomorrow. But if you can play with it between now and then. Okay. So any other questions or thoughts on that? Okay. So you thought our guys aren't doing anything.
Just a question, please.
Sure.
On that
Go ahead.
section, it says ready to grow your audience, upgrade to pro. Does that mean that only at the pro level you can get the smart links?
You can, well, remember when the smaller levels, you get 2 smart links in the $49 program and you get 5, but you get unlimited in that. So in that section where you can just create unlimited number of smart links after your meeting, that feature will only be for the people in the pro plan. So we're not taking away the smart links from the people that have. If we can't put a limit on it in that section,
Right.
but you could literally send out, if you're on the pro plan, that will appear. And if not, otherwise it will appear as an upgrade request, where if you wanted to send out 100, potential smart links to people, you'll be able to do that. And remember, for people that are brand new, what is a smart link, right? A smart link is where you're doing a meeting and you're the best presenter in your group. And you've got all these new excited people who believe if they could just get in front of Rachel, if they could just get in front of Terry, if they get in front of Lee, they'll be as excited as you are. They can't explain the product yet, right? They can't explain how they get paid, but they can say, if Rachel's doing a meeting Thursday night at 8:00, here's an invite link. So those smart links will track all the guests that they bring. And that smart link will read, if those person decides to enroll or purchase, they'll get credit for the sale through their replicated websites, whether it be Herbalife, Nu Skin, Amway, Pitch, whatever it may be. It tracks it through that company system, so they get paid. So when you say, why do I need 600 seats in a webinar? Well, you may need 600 seats when you have 20 or 30 people, sales reps working for you who are inviting people. That's when it makes a lot more sense. So tomorrow I'll go through the whole Smart Link co-host one training tomorrow. A way to help build your business quicker, faster, better. Okay. All right. Any Carol, did you make it? No. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for today, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, twice tomorrow, right? In the afternoon at our training, and then hopefully at our business opportunity presentation with our special guest tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Thanks so much.